I'm absolutely not going to consider parenting for the reason that you're talking about. I don't want to use a child to stretch my ability to grow as a person. What a gross thing to do. What a gross thing to do. What a gross amount of pressure to put on a child. Nope. I am not going to have children because I know that I wouldn't be a good father. Well aware of it. Well aware of it. I barely take care of myself. I'm not patient with myself. How am I going to be patient with a child?
You're a rarity then. All right.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Okay. Hi, I'm Beth.
And I'm Stainy.
And you're listening to Mixed Politics. Welcome to episode 22.
22.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me too. And we're trying out something new here. So, what are you drinking tonight, Stainy?
I'm not even going to give this a name. What is this?
Sorry, that was me.
I'm not even going to give this a name. This is just rum and ginger ale and lime juice. But it's a newer rum. I haven't had this on the show before. This is Pirate. And I think it's made in Guyana. It's the same company that makes Patron.
Oh,
so it's very
nice.
smooth. You don't have to mix this. You can just have it on the rocks. I just don't want to be blasted doing it. Because I'll drink it really fast.
Yeah.
So what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I'm going to call this a Frosé Fruit Loop. And so similar in nature to last week. And I remember now that I did not fully explain the fruitcake from last week.
Okay.
So fruitcake is something that is tradition, but most people don't like. And I was relating that to the GOP right now, that it's tradition to have the GOP as part of politics, but a lot of people don't like them. So I had to clarify that. So this week it's
at least 84 million people.
84 million, yes.
At least,
It's tradition. So this week it's the Frosé Fruit Loop, similar in nature, that we're talking about some wackadoodles this week, and but it's got the frosé, so it's a little bit different, a little bit spicier than last week. So
okay.
That's what we got, and it's got some Pinnacle vodka in there.
Yeah. Before they charge us, we just go ahead and put that.
Sure.
So what are we talking about this week?
We are talking about what is going on with Rep Boebert. This is going to be something new for us. We're doing a live reaction. There are some hot topics that are going on, some recent videos. And we're going to do a live reaction. We have not watched these
And one
videos.
of our previous patrons, Melissa, had asked us to do a live reaction before. Like we did the live Q&A before. We never did a live reaction video.
Right.
What was the bill specifically she was speaking on?
It's the Women's Health Protection Act, which was the bill that was proposed by Democrats in the House to basically give a safety net for abortion rights so that it would be codified in the Constitution as an actual act by Congress.
Yeah.
And so she was giving her speech in opposition to this act that was passed in the House, has not passed the Senate yet. It's still sitting there. I have to take a second to say, I've read the bill, and it is the most incredible bill that I've ever read in my entire life. Okay. Ever took them out of 200 and some years of Congress, the best bill.
Repeat the name of the bill again, and I will just put it at the bottom here,
Yes,
just so people can go read it too. Because I remember when I sent it to you, I sent the clip to you. Didn't watch the clip just because I knew this was coming. So I sent the clip to you, and I was just like, I think your friend said some ridiculous shit here. And then from what I'm understanding, you went and read the bill.
Yeah, I only watched about 10 seconds of that video, and I was like, this bitch crazy. But so I went and read the bill itself.
Yeah.
And, oh, dude.
Right. I remember your response to me was that this is the greatest bill you've ever read.
Ever.
And I remember also what you said. You were like, because it's written by a bunch of women.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't read it, but I'll take her word for it.
But yes, we do encourage you to go read the bill and just see what happens when you put women in power. It's a pretty fucking fantastic thing.
All right. So, do you want to just jump right to it? I honestly don't know how these reaction videos work.
So what we can do is we'll talk over the video if it's maybe one or two words that we have to say in reaction, like bullshit or whatever. But if we have something to say, let's pause it and let's talk. and then we'll proceed when we're done making our points.
Okay. All right. So here we go. And this is where is she from? Is it Colorado?
She's from
or
Colorado.
Georgia? She's from Colorado.
It looks like Rifle, Colorado, but I think people pronounce it Riffle, Colorado. I don't know, but she's kind of obsessed with guns.
So fun because just a little background on this person. This is one of the more QAnon-esque people in Congress. Maybe the very number one. Do you think Taylor Greene is more like far gone than she is?
Yes. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is now getting eaten by her own. So, yes. Greene is the head of the monster of QAnon in Congress right now. And
so where would Boebert be?
She's like the right hand.
Okay.
Of the Godzilla.
Well, you know what they say. It is better to be at the right hand of the devil than in his path.
Yes. Very true.
I learned that from this movie, The Mummy.
Yes. Oh my God! When we were in college, I used to watch that all the time.
It sounded so philosophical when I said it, but it's like, where'd you get that from?
The Mummy.
The fucking scared dude that had like the fucking Star of David, and he was just like, "Imhotep, bullshit."
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
But and it stuck with me. It's like better to be at the right hand of the devil than in his path, and I'm like,
It's true.
No, it's better to get the fuck away from the path and the devil. If you ask me,
it's better to not pick sides and just do you.
Get the hell away. But
you do you.
Here we are.
All right.
So this is the one from Colorado, Rifle or whatever. Mm-hmm. But what she does have is, dude, they confuse me so much. I'm not even gonna lie for the sake of this podcast.
Okay.
Taylor Greene, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Lauren Boebert. I can't remember which one just got their GED, like while in Congress.
Lauren Boebert.
Okay, so that's the same one we're talking about.
Same one we're talking about.
Next thing, she owns a restaurant.
Yes.
That is completely themed out with guns.
Yes.
In Colorado.
Yes.
Right.
It is an obsession.
And she has said so by the way, if you haven't gotten your GED and you haven't graduated from high school or from college or whatever, you can be a United States congressperson. Just so you know. So don't feel discouraged, don't feel disheartened. Get your campaign ready, put your name on the ballot, go, because she did it. I swear to God.
Reach for the stars, man.
Oftentimes I'm listening to her, she don't got two good brain cells to rub together. If you do, go for it.
It's all about gimmicks and marketing. That's really what it is. She can sell herself.
For some people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. If you're too gimmicky, like the fucking guy Moore we talked about before when he rode in the fucking...
Oh, Roy Moore?
With the rifle on his back and the cowboy hat and on a horse. I'm like, when you go to Washington, you're doing none of those things. You're riding in a Lincoln Town car, in a helicopter, and you're wearing suits. So what is all this that's happening
Will
right
it
here?
save us taxpayer dollars if they ride in on a horse instead of riding in a limousine?
Because horses are more expensive to care for than cars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got to feed and house that thing. You can't just park it on the side of Pennsylvania Avenue.
That's true.
So, without further ado, we're gonna listen to this woman talk about the Women's
Health Protection
Act and her response. Just to preface, I think she's against it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, it appears that the death of 13 American soldiers and the billions in American military equipment handed over to terrorists isn't enough tragedy for my Democrat colleagues.
The best part is we both reached for the pause button at the same time. I was just like, wait a minute. What are we talking about? Are we talking about the Women's Health Protection Act? Or are we talking about... She opened with 13 dead soldiers in Afghanistan?
This is the kind of political grandstanding that grinds my fucking gears. She is a representative.
From Colorado.
And she's got the microphone anytime she wants. She waits until the Women's Health Protection Act is on the docket for her to talk about Afghanistan. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's where she opened. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, what?
She really cares about those 13 people anyway.
But that's the thing. It's like, it's really so weird because like everybody can see that this is posturing or whatever. Well, everybody with, like I said, two brain cells to rub together.
Yeah.
But a lot of people listen to this and they, for them, if they ever get to this, because I mean, we're watching this C-SPAN, feed or whatever.
C-SPAN, exactly.
When they get the clip of this on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, the people who are for her or are supporters of her will be like, oh, she's so caring. She cares about those 13 people. Matter of fact, I bet you if you could get an AMA with her like right now, really completely live, just off the cuff, be like, hey, name one of the soldiers that died over there. She couldn't tell you any one of their names.
I was just thinking the same thing. Name their names.
Yeah.
Name 13 people.
Give me one of them. One.
She doesn't know any.
But she'll readily put this, out there like she's so caring.
Exactly.
I can't deal with this. Okay. All right.
American soldiers and the billions in American military equipment handed over to terrorists isn't enough tragedy for my Democrat colleagues. To continue their legacy of death and destruction, progressives decided to bring abortion on demand up for a vote this week.
Wait.
This is not this. Let me just for any.
Wait.
What?
Wait. The war in Afghanistan was not started by Democrats.
No, it was started by George W. Bush.
So what the fuck is she talking about? Our legacy of death?
It was perpetuated by Democrats, perpetuated by Republicans. There is nobody innocent who has been in the White House for the past 20 years. They are all part and parcel to this war in Afghanistan. And fine, Lauren Boebert, if you don't want war, cut the defense budget. You go first. You know she won't.
It's not even a matter of she won't. The defense budget has never been debated in my lifetime.
Never.
The Pentagon comes out and says, we need this much, and that's how much they get.
Interestingly enough, it probably was debated in my lifetime because I'm a few years older than you. Okay. And I was born during the Carter administration. He was probably the last president who ever gave any pause about the defense budget.
The defense budget is currently at close to $800 billion, almost $1 trillion goddamn dollars. And we've seen all these reports about ridiculous spending and how the fact that the war in Afghanistan costs 3 times as much as it should just because we're just giving money to defense contractors.
Right.
And it's like she now is gonna put that on Democrats.
Everybody is guilty in this. Don't for 1 second think that anybody is innocent in this.
That's so wild to me.
But the part that drives me bonkers is that she is taking this opportunity to talk about death and destruction.
And then, I assume where she's going, she's linking this to abortion.
Yes. Because this is about...
Because war and abortion and women's health is the same issue.
Right. That's the thing. She is equating abortion to murder. We can have an honest debate. Let's have an honest debate about when life begins. Does it begin at conception? But we talked about this in our episode about the Texas abortion bill, where we explained that pregnancy is defined as 2 weeks prior to even having sex. So she is defining life. I don't know. Is she defining it as at conception, which happens when you have sex, or is she defining it as 2 weeks prior to that? Or is she defining it as, 6 weeks later when they detect a heartbeat?
I have a hunch.
We can have an honest debate about that, but equating abortion to murder is a very slippery slope because people have abortions for multiple reasons.
I have a hunch. I have a hunch that it is not the 2 weeks prior that you're talking about.
Right.
Because she recently got her GED. So, you're not going to act like she's some kind of scientist.
She's not going to be educated in that.
She ain't the one. No. Yeah. All right, let's keep this rolling.
These baby-killing advocates have been spewing lies and half-truths at an alarming rate since heartbeat bills have been passed by states all across the country. So I thought I would just address a few of these lies. Lie number 1.
Aren't there 4 heartbeat bills in total?
There's more. No. There's quite a few.
Is it more than 25?
More than 10? Maybe not more than 25.
So what the fuck she talking about all across the country?
All across. Last week's episode, we talked about media manipulation. The words of manipulative language are exactly what Lauren Boebert is doing. Thank you for calling that out. If you think...
Well, I spot this shit all day, every day.
Yes, exactly. Like, I grew up in a household where we talked about psychology, and I've studied psychology, and I talked to people who have also studied manipulative language in detail. These are the things that one must pay attention to.
Yeah.
We are all products of manipulation. If you have a social media account, you're being manipulated. Please understand that. So listening to somebody like Lauren Boebert talking, I can specifically name the manipulative language that she's using. Baby killers, murder.
All across the country.
All across the country. These are things, when people speak in absolutes like this, beware that they're probably trying to manipulate you. It's either, if these people who speak in the binary, it's either you're evil or you're good.
You're for the troops or you're against the troops.
You're for us or you're against us.
You're a baby killer or you're...
Yeah, you support...
You're a patriot.
Even pro-life versus pro-choice. I explained that in a prior episode as well, that this is not... Most people fall somewhere in between.
Yo, I promise you, more often than not in life, you have more than two choices.
Exactly. So yes, this is definitely manipulative language that she's using right here. All right, let's proceed.
Lie number 1, abortion is good for women. That's some CNN fake news right there. Women who have an abortion have an 81% increase in risk for mental health problems.
Wait, this bitch suddenly cares about mental health? Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm gonna let you go.
Okay, so we're talking to a person who is a member of a party in general that has denied mental health services to people, denied that mental health is a rampant problem in this country, denied admitting for decades that
for the fact
people
that,
coming
that
back
capitalism is causing a lot of people's mental health issues.
Yes, capitalism itself is causing a lot of people. It's basically the winners and the losers. Some people win, some people lose. That in itself
and the losers who want to kill themselves.
Right.
And here we are.
But she mentioned Afghanistan. The GOP for years, for decades, even back to the Vietnam War, denied that there was any correlation between people coming home from combat and having mental health issues. Mm-hmm. How dare she sit here and pretend like she gives a shit about mental health services? Oh my God.
So she said they had an 81% chance of having like mental health issues.
Sure, yeah,
I think that's a great statistic.
It is.
And that's not great.
Not
great for
accurate.
women, but I think it's accurate. Because like I'm never gonna have one. I've never had one, but I think having an abortion, regardless of whatever stage it is, once a woman, and this is my opinion, once a woman finds out that she's pregnant, a lot of things start changing in a woman's brain. Mm-hmm. Even if it's just the very basic reasoning of, well, shit, I can't drink anymore.
Yeah.
Just something changes. It's not just, oh, I'm pregnant. Cool, what's on Sports Center?
Right.
That doesn't happen. Like, it's I'm pregnant. What happens next? What's going on? And then to terminate that, there has to be some form of like, whether mental anguish, trauma, something that's happening besides the physical that could be happening, whether it's within the first trimester or whatever. So if it's as high as 81%, where okay, a woman has an abortion and now she's having bouts of depression and bouts of anxiety, and she finds herself crying randomly or whatever, that makes total sense.
Yes.
However, just before you said this, you were talking about mental health.
Yeah.
And if you gave a fuck about these 81% of women, you would be proposing for their mental health help.
Yes.
You would be like, well, 81% of these women are having this problem. We should put some more funding into mental health services for women via, let's say, Planned Parenthood or whatever. But you are the fucking party that strips these people all the time of funding, of locations, of whatever. And it's like, she just keeps, flip-flopping. I don't know if that's the best word for it, but it's like, it's not genuine what you're saying. You can't talk about the need for mental health, and then in the very next sentence talk some shit about 81% of women needing mental health. When you know what you can do? Because this is online for the people who, are on it. You can go check her voting record.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. Mm-hmm. She's talking about people need mental health services because abortion fucks with their mental health. Then what you do is you just go online and Google. I'm not even going to do it for you. I'm going to tell you what I would do. Yeah. Go to Google, type in Boebert voting record. Google, search, and then whatever first 3 sites come up, pick one that says .gov. Mm-hmm. It'll probably be congress.gov.
Might be.
Yeah, because then they have the fucking check and the X that shows you each one, and then you can go down and
or it could be something like 538.
Yeah,
right? or Ballotpedia. They keep track of how these people vote,
and then you can be like, okay, so are you voting for mental health or not? And then you'll see that she's not, and then you'll be like, well, you're full of shit, because that's exactly what I'm thinking here. You are full of fucking shit.
Yep. There's 2 things I have to say about this. The first thing is, mental health is something, mental wellness, I should say, is something that everybody struggles with. If you're human, you struggle with mental wellness at some point in your life. And they act as if this is a binary choice. Again, very manipulative. It's either this or it's that. They say that if you have an abortion, you're going to have mental health problems. You're going to have you're going to have mental health problems no matter what. But B, it's not like avoiding abortion avoids the mental health problems.
Right. She's like, if you don't have an abortion and you go through complete pregnancy, this 81% is just going to just automatically be 0.
No. Let me give you something that I've always wanted to say, and thank God we have this podcast where I can say it. Let's take the worst case scenario here. Something that was not carved out in the Texas bill, by the way, which led to the Women's Health Protection Act even being written in the first place. Something that was not covered was rape or incest. If somebody's raped, if somebody is a product of an incestuous situation where a family member is raping them or molesting them, then there is no protection in this Texas abortion bill that led to this congressional bill that Lauren Boebert's reacting to. So they pretend as if you have an abortion, that's the worst case scenario. But if you give the baby up for adoption, you're scot-free from any mental health issues whatsoever. Let me just tell you this one thing. Hold on.
Something tells me that giving up your baby, your living baby that you're handing over for abortion, for adoption, is way more traumatic than having...
Let me draw it out for you this way.
That's crazy.
Once a woman is faced with pregnancy, regardless of the situation, whether it's a consensual relationship, whether it is incestuous, whether it is rape from a stranger, no matter what, her life changes, period. Yeah. End of story. She is going to have some kind of impact, mentally and emotionally, just by getting pregnant. So if you say that giving a baby up for adoption is the best option, she will still need mental health services. Because once she is raped, her life is forever changed.
That's not something that you just bounce back from. Like, that's what's up. Like,
she's going to have emotional trauma. She has trauma from the rape. She has trauma from the pregnancy. She has trauma from the adoption. She has trauma from keeping the baby. There is no scenario where she's like from trauma.
Let's go have margaritas. I'm good. Like, no.
There's no situation where she's free from trauma. So these people need to sit down and shut the fuck up, trying to come up with some scenario in which this is great for women.
I'm glad you touched on the whole rape and incest part, because I think the reason why this clip was sent to me / us is because she had some things to say regarding that. And I think we're probably coming up to that pretty soon. Okay. So let's do that.
And are 35% more likely to commit suicide. Abortion doubles the risk of alcoholism for women, increases the risk of future miscarriages by up to 60%, and of course increases the chances of death in the mother.
Yeah.
Every abortion leaves 1 dead and 1 wounded.
Whoa.
Abortion is bad for women. Lie number 2.
Wait! Every abortion leaves 1 dead and 1 wounded. Yo, okay, so listen. my takeaway from this is, one, she didn't write that speech.
No.
Some intelligent speech. Like, I'm not trying to disrespect people who don't have formal education. I have a couple of those people in my family, and they're cool people and they're wonderful.
Yeah.
But I can tell when you're reading from a script and when you've come up with shit yourself because of how you've talked before when not scripted.
Right.
And I've heard her, talk off the cuff, and I'm just like, you probably shouldn't be representing people. So when she has a hot take, which is what we would call that, when she has a hot take, like abortion leaves one dead and one wounded, I'm just like, good speechwriter.
Yeah,
you piece of
that
shit.
is a speechwriter.
That's a good speechwriter.
For sure.
You got one right there.
But that is, again, the manipulation.
You got one.
So, again, I can go back to my prior point. We can have a debate about when life begins, but saying that abortion is murder is making an argument that you believe life begins when the sperm meets the egg. So let's focus on the science behind it, not the verbiage.
Because the science behind it would say that, all right, fine. So, which ties into the weird laws that they have in both Florida and Texas. Mm-hmm. If we're talking about when sperm meets egg, and let's say anything happens that terminates that union,
right,
is murder. So all miscarriages are murder?
That's exactly where they go wrong in this logic. I understand 100% people who believe that life begins at conception. I don't know how I feel about it because I personally just don't. It doesn't impact me personally, but it does impact people that I know.
Who do we blame for the miscarriage? Was the mother not eating right? Was she not exercising? Was she not taking her prenatal vitamins?
There are so many reasons why miscarriages happen. And that's the thing, is that don't put me through. Now, I can't get pregnant anymore. I've had surgery. I cannot get pregnant. But during my years that I could get pregnant, don't put me through that kind of mental anguish to analyze all the reasons why this miscarriage would have happened. I haven't had a miscarriage. I haven't been pregnant in my entire life.
Were you wearing jeans? Were your belt too tight?
That is what women are already doing that to themselves. We don't need somebody in Congress to do that to us as well. So this is something that women have to deal with privately.
Yeah.
We're already going through mental anguish. We don't need somebody in Congress doing this to us too.
Hey, man, I promise you, after this, we're on episode 22.
Yeah.
The fact that I'm sitting here talking to you about like shit like this, I'm sure there's like a couple million dudes out there that's like, look at that fucking simp. And I'm like, yeah, I care about women, man.
Take a second to address those people.
No, I don't want to address losers. They don't eat where I eat. I'm a boss. I'm not concerned about them. But I'm just saying, it's like my like, do you want me to apologize for caring about women? And I'm not one of those dudes who are just like, well, I have a mother and a daughter and a sister. Like, whatever. Even if I was an only child and an orphan, logic is logic, man.
We're human.
You can't say one, like, every time a pregnancy is terminated, whether through abortion or whatever means, whether medically or somebody took a coat hanger, not to traumatize anybody. Yeah. Whatever, that it's one murder and one wounded and one
murdered and
one murdered and one wounded. It's like, come on, man. Like, I don't understand the GOP. I do understand it, but I don't understand how people don't call it out, don't see it. Mm-hmm. Whereas it's like, you keep giving me these two options. You keep giving me black and white.
Right.
One murdered, one wounded. For the troops, against the troops. Mm-hmm. Pro-life, like, stop with the two fucking options,
we have to stop with this. Yes. Because life does not find itself in the binary most of the time.
Not in this universe.
No. But that's what these people are paid to, they think they're paid to do.
Yeah.
Is to fight for their party. And their party line is to draw it in a certain way. Meanwhile, the rest of us, 330 million Americans, are out here living our lives trying to find ourselves in the gray area. And that's why this pisses me off that these people are like, it's this or it's that. No, it's actually not. It's somewhere in between.
Let's get to the...
Rape victims need abortions. Wrong. They need love. They need support. They need safety and healing. They needed a Glock 19 when it happened. It's time we start addressing...
No. Okay.
You know what? Wait, before we even get into the bullshit that she just said, I'm not even gonna repeat it because I can't. My brain can't have those words come out of my mouth. I'm gonna feel stupid. What she's talking about is hindsight.
Yes.
It's 100% hindsight. It's those people who think that like more police protects against crime. Like, how many times have you ever seen a cop show up in the progress of a crime and like Superman saves the day?
January 6th. We know for sure that didn't happen that day.
Happen
Police
that day.
presence did not make a difference.
Exactly. So when a crime is happening, right? You can't, in hindsight, in 2020, in hindsight, be like, that's the situation now, and I'm prepared for it, and this is how I'm gonna act. Like she literally just said, rape victims need love, care, and support, and a Glock 19. Now, if this were true, can you imagine all the fucking dead men there would be all about, just strewn about like on sidewalks and shit, in back alleys and whatnot, if women were just like, ha! Yeah, you trying to rape me? Turn up, let's go. Because I got this.
Yep.
Bang, bang.
Right. We could be shooting people for no reason.
See, you going too far. Just stay within the bullshit. Stay within the bullshit. I'm right there with you. What you're saying makes sense. A lot more people would be dead. It'd be like, first of all, let's just say I'm a random woman and I've stumbled out of the bar drunk, and I'm just like, I'm just trying to get to my car, or I'm trying to call. She's not a drunk driver. I'm trying to call Uber. Just fucking leave me alone. And the guy's like, look, it's okay. I'm just gonna sit here with you until the Uber comes. I don't want anybody. You're trying to rape me.
Bang bang.
Bang. Like,
yeah.
Is that what she's trying to propose?
That is exactly what she's advocating for.
That's wild.
So, first of all, let's just draw this in the simplest of terms possible. She's advocating for murder.
While saying she's against murder.
Saying she's against murder. She's trading murder for murder. She's trying to murder men to save the babies. What sense does that make? She says, give him a Glock. She can shoot the guy, probably kill him. So she's just advocating for murder.
Alright, first of all, let me tell you how dumb this is. You can't rape from a distance.
Right.
Not that I have any like grand experience with this. I don't. I have zero.
I do have experience with this.
Sorry about that. And not just to blow it over. I'm really sorry about that.
No, I will address it.
That fucking sucks. I'm so sorry about that.
I will definitely address it.
But you don't rape from over there.
Nope.
You raping right here.
Yep.
At the very least, 7 inches close to this woman.
Yep.
Do the math. Now you, Mrs. Boebert from Colorado, you want a woman within 7 inches of space to pull out a Glock 19 and shoot a man. Now let's say this woman, she's an American woman, so let's say she's about 190 to 220. Let's be fair. Right? Now this guy, he's already sized her up. Mm-hmm. She's 190 to 220. If he's about to go do anything significant, he's probably around 6'2", 6'3", 270.
Yep.
She ain't pulling out shit.
Exactly. That wasn't an option for me.
She ain't pulling out nothing.
No.
Matter of fact, if she actually gets to pull out the gun, she gonna die by that same fucking gun.
Yep. That is exactly what went through my head.
What?
And full disclosure, first of all, trigger warning. Rape.
What?
Second of all, I have no problem talking about this because I've been through therapy. It is part of my life. It is something I want to help people. I want to help people who don't quite understand to understand. So that wasn't an option while a man was sexually assaulting me with his hand around my neck. That was not an option for me to pull out anything. I obviously wasn't armed, but if I were, he would have used it against me because he had authority over me. There was no way that I was going to overpower him to even reach for anything.
Man, they come up with some weird ass hypothetical situations all the time and like sell it like it's real.
Exactly. In the moment, I was trying to do whatever I could to save my own life. And that in that moment, it would not have been to reach for anything.
Oh my God.
So it's evident to me.
She's so weird. Like she really think that like just any random fucking tight end shows up and tries to like rape her,
right,
she gonna pull out her Glock. You ain't pulling out nothing, B.
I hope she's never in that situation, but that's kind of the point, is that 100% of people I know who've been in this situation don't ever try to project onto other people by saying that they could have done something to prevent it or they should have done something to prevent it. 100% of women and men who have been in my position will sit back and say, I'm not going to say what if. I'm not going to say that they should have or could have.
I'm pretty sure.
We never do.
You know what? Tell me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to speak for women. I'm not one of you people. But I'm pretty sure majority of the people who have been in such a terrible situation are happy to be fucking alive.
Yes, absolutely. I'm happy to be alive.
And she talking about like some kind of like vigilante outlaw justice that doesn't
Let's talk about the trauma that happens if I would have shot that man who raped me.
So now you've been raped and you've also killed a person. Exactly.
Nothing about this scenario makes the woman or the man free from trauma. Again, 100% of people who have been in my position would never project onto anybody else. The fact that she's projecting and saying that I should have been carrying a gun tells me she has never been violated the way that I've been violated, and that's why she needs to sit the fuck down.
You don't know though. These people are really good actors.
I don't know.
But not only that though, because the statistics say that certain amount of women are, and it's ridiculously high, are raped by age 35 or whatever. It's absurd. I don't want to tell you because I don't want to depress you, but it's absurd. So there's a very good possibility that she has been because of the statistics, right? But here's the thing. You have a lot of people who don't believe, who've been in that situation, who don't believe that they've been in that situation. Yeah. And they psychologically justify, what's the word I'm looking for? But it doesn't matter. Justify, or excuse it away. Yes. Just be like, oh, well, he's my boyfriend. He was drunk, so like, no, you were sexually assaulted.
Exactly.
Sorry, but
you were. There's a definition to it.
Did you want to have sex? No. Did you consent to have sex? No. Did you have sex anyways? So what the fuck you talking about? You got raped.
Exactly. There is no, and a lot of people excuse it because of the reaction that we get from people like her in Congress that are paid, what is it, $175,000? Plus they're paid a salary to say this shit.
Plus they get insider stock tips. So that 174 is just base.
That's just base salary.
All right.
Rape victims need abortions. Wrong. They need love. They need support. They need safety and healing. They needed a Glock 19 when it happened. It's time we start addressing killing the raper rather than the baby.
Isn't the word
what
rapist?
Isn't needed is trying to rectify a horrible situation through the killing of an innocent life. Abortion makes up only 3% of Planned Parenthood's services. Yep, that's lie number 3.
That ain't a lie, that's the truth!
It is the truth. Women who don't have the income to go, I just went to the doctor today. I have good insurance. My husband's a teacher, so we have very, very good insurance. I went to a dermatologist. I need to stop myself from saying too much here. I went to a dermatologist
I'll
today.
stop you. Keep going.
It was a necessary appointment for me to have. I had to pay out of pocket for it, even though I have good insurance. Now, thankfully, I have a job.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of insurance covers dermatology.
Right, but this is a life-saving appointment for me. Okay, so I had to pay out of pocket for everything that happened today, and thank God I had the availability, the income available to pay for this. So the fact that women are going,
Beth rich, I'm not.
I'm not rich. I'm middle class. So the fact that she's talking about Planned Parenthood being that it being a lie that 3% of their services are abortion services, I really don't know what the statistic is. I'm not going to pretend like I do. But there are women who go there because they can't afford to go to a regular doctor. Because they can't afford to pay for what I paid for
today. Women go there for counseling, for UTI checks, for regular checkups. They go there for condoms. They go there for birth control. They go there for random information.
Right.
That, they can't just... Where else they going to go for? I guess their own doctor. Well, if you don't have a primary care provider, where else are you going to go? Like, trust me, the Planned Parenthood in places like that, not just Planned Parenthood, their total revenue is not from however many abortions they've performed.
That's not...
And that's what she's trying to make it out to be. She's just like, they're like, she has the numbers right there. She's looking at it on her paper.
Yeah.
And she's like, they say that abortions are only 3% of whatever, and that's a lie. Okay, then, Lauren, what's the truth? Is it 50? Is it 80? Give me something. Let's see what she says. Give me something.
Seriously? No one believes this. Planned Parenthood is America's #1 abortion provider. More than 96% of women who seek help at Planned Parenthood have abortions. Planned Parenthood...
Wait!
Manipulative language. Let me start with there. Let me explain what she just did there. She said that 3% abortion rates provided by Planned Parenthood was a lie, and then immediately jumped to they are the #1. Hold on. They are the #1 provider. Okay, the #1 provider still could be 4% or 5%. The fact that she jumped from 3% is a lie. They are the #1. She's trying to use language to put in your head this gigantic number of 99%.
I love how she jumped from 3% is a lie. But her 96 is the truth.
Right. Come on.
Not only that, she got her 3% from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Where the fuck she get this 96 from?
I don't know. Out
of her ass.
This is manipulative language driven to trigger people into thinking that abortion is terrible.
She's dressed the part too. She got the pantsuit on. She got the ponytail. She got the glasses. She got the brooch.
And all of this is avoiding the actual conversation about the reasons why women have abortions. You can talk about how you think it's wrong. Cool. Thanks for your opinion. I don't give a shit. Let's talk about why women have abortions. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the fact that it's because they were raped, because they were underprepared or didn't have access to birth control. It's because the relationship they're in is too emotionally unstable for them to say no. Let's talk about that. Let's not demonize the women who are having abortions. Let's demonize the situation that they're in that made them resort to having an abortion. Thank you.
That would make too much sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Planned Parenthood is for women's health care, like Mattress Firm sells mattresses. Right.
What?
And #4.
Excuse me?
I gotta laugh. She just said Planned Parenthood is for women's health care, just like Mattress Firm sells mattresses. Hey lady, Mattress Firm does sell mattresses. The fuck?
Planned Parenthood doesn't only sell abortions.
She was trying to make an analogy and totally fucked it. I'm not making this up. She literally just said Planned Parenthood is for women's health services, just like Mattress Firm sells mattresses.
And they do actually
Mattress Firm literally only sells mattresses. Maybe a box spring here and there and some fucking...
Do they sell anything else like those?
They only sell beds!
There's those outlet stores that sell mattresses, but they also sell drug paraphernalia. You know those places?
Like waterbeds and
stuff? Yeah, waterbeds and stuff.
Hey, nothing against waterbeds and stuff. Just so y'all know, please don't fucking cancel me. I buy all my fucking incense at waterbeds and stuff. I just want to put that out there.
I'm just saying, that just jumped in my head.
Heartbeat bills restrict abortion. Actually, this one's true. You're damn right, they restrict abortion. And I am proud to support them. I am proud that in just a few years, because of heartbeat bills all across America, there will be children enrolling in elementary schools laughing and smiling because someone took a stand for the voiceless. God bless these children, God bless their mothers, and God bless America.
God bless America. I knew that was coming.
Okay, all right.
That's the best part.
Let me state something that's probably going to be very unpopular. But it's truth. not every human should be a parent.
Okay.
Okay. So the fact that she is advocating for anybody who becomes pregnant should become a mother, there are some women who do not want to be mothers. And for whatever reason...
And I don't think that person who's made a conscious mental decision that I don't want to be a mother... Because, man, you know, it's so funny. Maybe we could put this at the beginning. There was a clip earlier that I was showing a friend of mine of a guy making a case for why he does not want to be a parent.
Okay.
And he was just like, look, first of all, I'm not even responsible. Like, I can't even get up out of bed on time. Like, you want to give me a child? Like, he was so serious about it. So I understand what you're saying about the mother who has the ability to be pregnant and has the ability to give birth. But to be a mother, that ain't the thing.
And that's me. Because I realize that being a mother doesn't mean I have to birth a child. I have good maternal instincts. I've had good friends of mine tell me that I have great maternal instincts. And I do. That does not mean that I have to birth a child. I can be a guiding force in people's lives without having to be their mother. I can use my maternal instincts to help my friends, to help strangers, to help my coworkers. I don't have to be a mother to be a mother. So the fact that she is saying that any person who is able to give birth should give birth.
Yeah, that's just on logic basis. That's a dumb argument.
It's a very dumb argument.
It's a dumb argument.
God bless those mothers. I'm sorry, they may not want to be mothers. Exactly. There is this religious notion to this, and I'm not trying to offend anybody who is religious, because I think there is a time and a space, and a good space for religion. It is not for me anymore, but I respect people who are religious and who find their faith to be a guiding force for them. But that should not equate to saying that because a woman is pregnant means that they are meant to be a mother.
Not only that, even if your stance is religious based or whatever, what the fuck that got to do with Congress?
Right. It's something that I feel is very personal. And it was to me when I was religious. It was very personal to me. I wasn't trying to project that onto other people. And I think that it often misconstrued that God is at play in pregnancies happening. Because when I was faced with a sexual assault, and I thankfully did not get pregnant, but I was afraid that I would be. And that's when I flipped from pro-life to pro-choice. Those terms, I hate them now, but that was when I shifted my mindset to say, I don't want somebody else to tell me what I should do in this situation. Thank God I didn't get pregnant. But I would never for 1 second, and I was religious at that time in my life, I would never for 1 second think that was God's work making this happen. This was a person who violated me that made this happen.
You know, one of the arguments I hear a lot is like, the baby that you aborted could be like the next LeBron James, or, you know, the next Greta Thunberg, or like, first of all, just on basic statistics, how many LeBron Jameses are there currently alive right now? One. So why the fuck you think your kid is gonna be the next one?
He's not gonna.
He's not gonna be the next one, dude. He's gonna be the next cubicle houser.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's the truth,
He's
man.
Probably average Joe at best.
Because the majority of us are average fucking Joes. Like, don't like, you know, you aborted your child that was gonna fucking have the breakthrough that leads us to interstellar travel, but you aborted them, and so now we're stuck on Earth.
Somebody else can fill that space. And this actually correlates somewhat to the the experience that LGBTQ have with how others react to them coming out. And I know some people very close to me who have dealt with this, where on both sides of it, where they've either come out to their family, or the family members have had somebody come out to them, and they're grappling with that. It's the argument of, I just I want them to be happy and I'm happy for them, but I'm afraid, I have to deal with this grief of them not having the picture perfect thing of having the spouse of the opposite sex. And it's like, but that's your projection of the world onto them.
That's not what they want.
That's not what they've ever wanted. So it's my projection of their whole life. And that's the same thing with this. Well, that kid could be the next LeBron James. That's that person's projection of what that child could be. Yeah. Maybe they don't want to be LeBron James.
Hey, Michael Jordan's son is not in the league. And he sucks at basketball. So yeah, there's that.
Exactly. Now, so we do need to draw that delineation between, if you're aborting this child, they could be something great. Well, that's my viewpoint. If I'm the person saying that, that's my viewpoint of their life, which hasn't happened. So how could you possibly even make that argument in a serious manner?
Anyways, GOP talking points, fruitcake shit, like Beth said. Tell these people how they can get to us.
Oh my God. I don't even remember at this point. I'm a little too drunk.
Well, apparently.
Yes. We're on Facebook and Twitch. If you search for Mixed Politics, we're also on Twitter at Mixed Politics 1. And yes, Instagram at Mixed Politics. We're going to put it all on the screen here. But then we're also on Patreon, and Stainy's going to tell you about that.
Go to patreon.com/mixedpolitics. Get a hoodie. Come chill with us. Yes. Come bartend for us. We'll kick back to you. You kick back to us. You know the spiel. It's been 22 episodes. I'm not going to tell you anything new right now. So, to all of our analysts, pundits, and experts, thank you for sticking it out with us for 22. This is something new. We might do it again.
Let us know what you think. Put some comments. Tell us if you like the live reacts, if you don't like it, or if there's something that you want us to react to.
Subscribe, link, thumbs up, like, tell your friends, tell your mom.
We're also on Spotify and Apple, all those kind of podcasts. Leave us a rating.
Yeah, if you just want to listen to us and you don't want to look at Beth's pretty face or my handsome mug,
there you go.
You can go directly to Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, etc., etc. And, hit the 5 stars or 4.
Yeah.
And that'll be that.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. There's a lot of vodka in your fucking drink.
Yes. I might have to call Jason and have
I literally told you to tell me when, and you were just like, I'm a boss. Like, wow.